What's good, YouTube? It's DTG Shoots. Today we're just going to talk about my everyday carry and my range guns. I haven't been posting lately, or at least I haven't been posting videos of me shooting lately due to my job's just been kicking my ass lately. Haven't really had a whole lot of time to get out to the range and film videos. I did qualify recently, but it was a pain in the ass to try and get a video recorded while I was out there doing that. Just a bunch of people and just not trying to slow down progress. So today we'll talk about the first thing would be my everyday carry. I chose to go with the Glock 48, and I paired it with the T-Rex Arms appendix carry holster. This is a 10+1. Primary reason why I went with this firearm is because I am in Washington. Washington has magazine capacity restrictions, so 10+1 is what we're allowed to carry, so why not get a pistol that already holds that or can abide by that rule. Weapon is magazine out, it's clear. But if you're unfamiliar with Glock 48s, Glock 48s are nothing more than a slimline version of the Glock 19. They're chambered in 9mm. They are single stack mag. I think the barrel length is 4 and some change or something like that. But overall, great pistol. I have fairly large hands, and I haven't seen any issues with the pistol being uncomfortable in my hands. I don't run into issues with pinching or like my thumb riding too far forward on the slide. Nothing whatsoever. Pretty standard pistol though. I didn't do anything to it except change out the Glock sights for some Trijicon night sights. However, I'm not a big fan of them, so I'll be switching over to Ameriglows. Those are the sights that I've had the most experience with, and it's just something about that orange dot that just makes acquiring your sights and lining up your sights a little bit easier for me. I know that's always a personal preference thing. I know these are very sought after, but I'm just not a fan of them. So yeah, that's my everyday carry. Next up, we'll talk about my range pistol. This pistol is probably my favorite of everything that I have here. I've had it the longest, but I've kind of worked this one a little bit more than the other, so I just have more reps with it, so it's gonna be my favorite regardless. I know there's better pistols out there, but this one is my favorite pistol. I'm just a Glock guy. What it is sitting in is the Alien Gear Level 3 holster. I had the opportunity to go out and shoot with Mil-Spec Mojo, and this is the holster that he was using, and it just so happened that he was able to get us a couple of these, and we started running them. I have not had enough reps with it. I do dry fire with it. I try and take it to the range as much as possible, but I'm just not as good with it as I want to be. So I have a lot of work to do with that. I know with 10,000 reps and you'll become a pro at something, right, or something like that. But I haven't made it there yet, so I still got a lot of work to do. So inside of that is my Glock 17. I would consider it a Gucci gun because it has a decent amount of work done to it. There's more that could be done, but I would think that this is a decent amount of work for me to call it my Gucci gun. So up top, I'm running the Holosun 507C, which is my first red dot. Before this, I was just running the Ameriglows, the ones that I want to put on my Glock 48. I have the Ameriglows on here, and like I said, that orange dot is just beautiful. No magazine, weapon is clear. So just that orange dot, like that ring, just makes picking up your sights so much easier. Chose to go with the cheapest version possible of the Holosun. Wasn't sure how I was really gonna like red dots, but of course, like anybody else, as soon as I started shooting, I fell in love with it. So yeah, I have the Holosun 507C red dot. Did not choose to go with the green dot option. Didn't see the need for it. Again, pair it with the Ameriglow sights. Working our way down or working our way forward, I have the Surefire X300 Light. I've had this probably longer than I've had the pistol. I haven't had any issues with it. It is the older version of it, but it still works perfectly fine. Working our way back, I do have a stock Glock trigger, but I did choose to go with the Terran Tactical Spring Kit. I think it takes the poundage down to about 3.5 pounds, somewhere in that ballpark. not a drastic change, but enough to where you'll feel the difference between the trigger press. And I'm a huge fan of the kit. I like the Glock, the Gen 5 triggers on the Glocks, but I just figured I'd go with the spring kit just to give me, to make it a little bit better, essentially. What the red dot is mounted to is a Grey Ghost Precision slide. I found out about this company from one of my coworkers. He had one of his guns outfitted with the furniture, and I went to the range and I fell in love with it. One thing that I didn't talk about on the 48 was the front serrations. I'm a huge fan of front serrations. I am a cross the top kind of guy when it comes to press checks and manipulating the slide. With these, they are substantially deeper than the serrations on the 48, and I'm a big fan of that. Just in case you're out on the range, you're sweating and you're not wearing gloves, or you're in a situation where blood's involved, whatever it may be, any fluids, it still allows you to get a really good purchase and manipulate the slide in any situation. Anytime you see me on the range and I'm doing like planking or whatever, you're probably going to see me with this pistol more than likely. Yeah, that's my 17. Last up, so here I have my rifle that I have had since 2020. I actually picked it up off of a buddy for 400 bucks. He was moving to a different area and wanted to get rid of it. I told him to give me a price, so he told me 400 bucks. So I went and picked it up. Since I've had it, I've added a couple of things to it, as you can tell. I have Magpul sights. I don't really use those, but they're there if I need them. Magpul stock, Magpul foregrip. Up top, I am running the Vortex Spark. Fairly cheap optic, but have not had any issues with it. I've been running this optic for, I'll say, about a year now. About a year I've had it, and I haven't had any issues. It hasn't lost zero. I've taken it out to the range. I've kind of stretched it out a little bit, and I've been able to shoot out to about 500 meters with it. I won't say I toss it around a lot, but I haven't had any issues with it not holding zero. So yeah, it is a mid-gas system, so recoil on this is practically non-existent. I mean, I would like to say that it's 100% me. It's a little bit of me, but that mid system is just it's solid. Aside from that, I do have a magazine well on the bottom, or a widener, is what I will call it. It's cool. I don't really see a whole lot of need for it, but I had it and I was like, why not throw it in the gun? So it may stay on. I may take it off. I don't necessarily know just yet. I do have a Radian Raptor ambidextrous charging handle. I chose to go this route just in case I put a larger optic up top, just so I'm able to manipulate the charging handle in any situation. I would probably say the craziest thing that I did was put a Geisley 2-stage trigger in this weapon system, and it changed the way, like, the entire shooting experience for me. Really fun gun to shoot, very basic setup, nothing special, but I love it, right? It works for me. So that concludes my range setup and my everyday carry. Hopefully I'll be able to get you some videos here pretty soon of me at least being on the range and doing some shooting. Like I said, work's been kicking my ass, so it's kind of hard to kind of find time to spend time with family and then also get out to the range and do some shooting. So I'll see you in the next one.